Hi, I'm Chris, I'm with Funko Games, and today I'm gonna teach you how to play Funkoverse. So the first thing you're gonna do when you sit down to play Funkoverse is you and your opponent are gonna decide which scenario to play. Now, there's 4 scenarios in every game, so there's gonna be, in Harry Potter, 2 scenarios in Diagon Alley, and then 2 scenarios in the Room of Requirement side. So for this game, we've set up the flag scenario in Diagon Alley. Now the scenarios are important because they're gonna tell you how you're gonna score points to win the game, and every game of Funkoverse is a race to a certain amount of points. After you've chosen a scenario, you're gonna pick a team of characters. So in this case, we have Harry Potter and Hermione with the Aurora, teamed up with each other. This set comes with 4 figures and 2 basic characters, and right now I have the Death Eater here. A basic character functions just like a regular character, except that they can only do the basic actions. They also kind of work as a reference card to let you know all the basic abilities and what your other characters can do as well. When a basic character is knocked down, you'll just flip over the token to their knocked down side to show that they've been knocked down, but otherwise they function just like regular characters do. Once you collect more sets, you don't really need to play with the basic characters anymore. They just give you a taste of a larger game, but you can imagine if you had Harry Potter 101, you could replace your basic characters from this set with Ron and Draco from that set. When you choose a character to add to your team, that character is going to come with 2 or potentially more ability tokens that they add to your pool. So in this case, Harry adds a gold and a blue ability token to your character's ability token pool. So we'll put that gold and blue. Hermione adds a silver and a gold. So we'll give the silver and the gold down here. Now note that the ability token pool is shared across your whole team. So Harry can use both of these gold tokens to do his Flipendo and his Protego, but that means that your team now has no more gold tokens to use either for Hermione or Harry, until, of course, they come off the cooldown track. It's a neat mechanism, and you want to make sure that when you're building your teams, you're looking for characters that share some colors so that you have an ability token pool that is robust enough to do all the things that you're going to want to do during the game. Today, we have it set up with a 3-character game. So we have 2 regular characters on each side, and then we have a basic character, the Death Eater and the Aurora over on this side. In this scenario, there's 3 ways to gain points. The first way to gain points is by moving over and collecting point fragment tokens. So let's say Voldemort goes over here, he does an action to collect this fragment, his team will score 1 point, and then this token would go onto the cooldown track at the very top there. And I'll explain how the cooldown track works in a second. But just know that every time you play the game, there's always going to be points on the board that you can collect in order to gain them. The next way to gain points is by challenging. When 2 characters face off, they can challenge one another. So let's say in this scenario, Harry Potter challenges Bellatrix, and he attacks her and rolls dice and hits her. Bellatrix will get knocked down. Then, if Bellatrix is hit again while she's knocked down, she'll move to the cooldown track at the 1. And in that case, Harry Potter's team will have scored 1 point for the knockout. Now, points on the board and points via knockout are gonna be ways to gain points in every single scenario, no matter what you're doing. But each scenario has a twist. In flags, the big twist is that if Hermione, for example, can get all the way down Diagon Alley next to her opponent's flag marker, then Hermione's team can score 2 points, and then she teleports back to her starting location. Those 3 ways to score points are what we're gonna be trying to do during the game. Now, on each turn, players are going to take control of one of the characters on their team and perform actions with that character. When it's your turn, you're gonna choose one of your characters and do 2 actions with that character. So let's take, for example, Harry Potter, Hermione, and the Aurora. If this player wants to choose to use Harry Potter, they can do 2 actions with Harry Potter. Now, there are some basic actions in the game that every character can do. For example, move is a basic action. When you do a move action, your character moves 2 spaces. You can move in a straight line or diagonally. Note though that there are walls that are shown on the board, and characters can't move through walls. The walls also extend over the corners a little bit, and that just shows you that characters cannot move diagonally past the walls. They have to move around them. So moving 2 spaces is a basic action. Another basic action that every character can always choose to do is a basic challenge. So if we rewind here and we go back to when Harry and Bellatrix were facing off, Harry can choose to do a basic challenge. A basic challenge, you always roll 2 dice. Harry will attack Bellatrix, and he is looking for this symbol right here. This is a hit symbol when you're challenging and is worth 1 success. If you would have rolled the 3 exclamation points, that would have been worth 3 successes. So in this case, if Harry was challenging, this roll would be worth 4 total successes. So of course, Bellatrix is gonna have a chance to defend, and I'll show you on Bellatrix's card right here. Her defense is 2. That just means that Bellatrix is gonna get to roll 2 dice when she's defending against any challenge. So now I'll go ahead and roll for Bellatrix's defense. And she has gotten 1 success. When you're defending, you're looking for the shield icons. If Bellatrix would have rolled exclamation points, that would have also been worth 3 successes on defense. So exclamation points are good whether you're attacking or whether you're defending. But unfortunately, Bellatrix only rolled 1 success on defense. Harry rolled his 4 successes when challenging, and Bellatrix would be knocked down. If Bellatrix is hit again while she's knocked down, and she doesn't succeed on her defense roll, she'll get moved to the cooldown track, and Harry Potter's team will score 1 point. When you gain a point for something like a knockout, you'll take 1 point and you'll add it to your pool. And these help you keep track of the scores. There are 2 ways that a character who's knocked down can stand up. The first way is that they can stand themselves up. That's called a rally action. And it simply means that your character takes their entire turn to stand themselves up, and then they're finished. But allies can help their friends to their feet. So if Voldemort moves next to Bellatrix, then Voldemort can take an assist action to help Bellatrix up. So it's a lot more efficient if your team is together so they can help each other when they're down. The only other basic action is interact. And interact is simply what you want to do when you're collecting the point tokens that are on the board. All those basic actions can be done by every single character in the game. What makes Funkoverse special though is that each character also has special abilities that they can use to do different powers. So we'll take a look at Harry Potter's card. And he has 3 abilities that he can use and a special trait at the bottom. Each one of these abilities is a different action that Harry Potter can use when it's his turn to act. To use a special ability, you must spend ability tokens from your ability token pool. And let's take a look at Flipendo. Flipendo is a yellow ability. So in order to use Flipendo, you must spend a yellow ability token that looks like this. Now, we'll look at the number that's inside of the icon next to Flipendo, which is 4, and that just means that this token is gonna go on the 4 when Harry Potter uses his Flipendo. Now, if Harry Potter uses his Protego ability, it also is yellow, so will require a yellow token, but it's only a 1. So the yellow token will go onto the 1 of the cooldown track. At the end of the round, after every character has taken all of their turns, everything that's on the cooldown track is gonna move down 1 number. So what that means is that the more powerful abilities use up your ability tokens for longer. In this case, Flipendo, this token is gonna be out of my pool for 4 turns, but the Protego token will come back in and be available to use on the next turn. Each ability has special rules associated with it, so make sure that you read your cards to know what those abilities do. Characters also have their trait, which is here at the bottom. The trait is just an ability that doesn't require an ability token, it's always on. So you'll always get that bonus when you're playing that character. Sometimes when a character uses a special ability to do a challenge, the card will say challenge and a number. So in the case of Flipendo, it's a challenge 3. That simply means that you're gonna roll 3 dice when you're doing that challenge. There's also range challenges in the game, and Hermione's Impedimenta is a great example. It is a range 3 challenge 2 ability. That just means that instead of being next to them, you can be up to 3 squares away to blast them with Impedimenta. Abilities also can sometimes give status cards. For example, Harry Potter's Protego. It's a spell that he can use to help his allies get a higher defense. So whenever your ability says give a status card, you'll just find the status card from your set and place it on the character that it's been given to. And last but not least, there are special items as well. So in this case, we have given Bellatrix Lestrange the dagger card. But one really cool thing about Funkoverse is at the beginning of the game, you get to choose which character gets your item. So you can actually remove this dagger from Bellatrix, and if I wanted to, I could have given it to Voldemort, like that. And then he would get the dagger special ability. So it's another really cool way to customize your team depending on the scenario that you're playing. Some items give you special actions, like the dagger, and some items give you other benefits, like the Felix Felicis potion, which is the luck potion, and it helps you with your rolls. So this scenario is flags, and the goal of flags is to get across the map to your opponent's starting area to score points. The other types of scenarios we have are control, and in control, there are 3 control areas that you're gonna be trying to claim in order to vie for control of that map. Then on the other side of the Harry Potter set, we have territory, which is kind of like our King of the Hill. There'll be one zone where you'll score points if you can get your characters into that zone at the end of the round. And last but not least, we'll have leaders. And in leaders, you'll nominate one of your characters to be your team leader. That character will be worth more points if your opponent takes them out, but will gain you extra points if they take out your enemy characters. Those 4 scenarios are gonna be in every single version of the game, no matter what box you have. So once you know how to score those, you can play on any map. Once a character has taken both of their actions, let's say Harry Potter has done his Flipendo and his Protego, then you'll take an exhaustion token, which looks like this, and you'll place it on that character. So when Harry Potter's gone, he doesn't get to go again until everyone else is exhausted. So in this case, Harry Potter would go, then I would have a chance to act with one of my characters until each character, including the basic characters, has been exhausted. At the end of the round, we'll check to see if anyone scores for flags. We'll move everything on the cooldown tracks down 1 space. Characters will then become unexhausted and able to use in the next round. And last but not least, the first player token will switch. So your opponent will get to go last in one round and first in the next round. Continue playing this way until you've scored 10 points, and that's the whole game. So we showed you how to play using the Harry Potter set, but the same rules apply to any of the Funkoverse games in the line. If you want more information, go to funko.com/Funkoverse. See you next time.